Let's talk NFC division. We did the AFC in our segment, did a lot of stuff with the Ravens and the Steelers. This segment's going to be geared a little bit more towards the Eagles, but we'll talk overall in general as well. The Eagles, I think, are a very interesting team this year. A lot of great young athletes on offense, defense coming along, as you mentioned, some of the draft picks they had, and we're going to talk about them. I think middle of the road, 8, 9, and 7 is a pretty good year for this group. The schedule gets harder as it goes along. They better start off strong out of the blocks or they're in trouble.
Yeah, they do have a tough schedule. As we talked in the previous segment, I just think there's an awful lot of middle of the pack and 9 and 7, 7 and 9, 8 and 8 teams in the NFL, and I think the Eagles are probably in that group. The Eagles always think long term. They always think big picture, and they've done a good job, I think, of transitioning and becoming a young team with a lot of good athletes. But this is the early stages of that process.
Yeah.
And I think the process is meant to really reap its benefits a couple years down the road. I think they're going to be better defensively than they were last year. That was a real issue for them last year. I think Sean McDermott's second year as a coordinator is kind of key. The Stuart Bradley being back, Brandon Graham, this kid from Michigan, who I think is going to be a pass rusher, going to be a real solid player in the league. But again, I just think all the things that they're looking at, including the schedule, which you pointed out, it's a very difficult schedule. I think you're looking at 8 and 8, 7 and 9.
You know, offensively, you talk a lot about the defensive side there. Kevin Kolb, I think he's going to have his ups and downs like any young quarterback does.
He's going to be okay.
I think you're going to see a difference with balls being led to receivers. I want to see how these receivers respond. Jeremy Maclin in his second year, Deshaun Jackson in a contract year, how does he respond and show up? And McCoy as the lead running back this year and how he develops. I think it's a great developing year. 7 and 9, 8 and 8, 9 and 7, all possible.
Yeah.
I'll go 7 and 9 because I'll be optimistic. It's going to be topsy-turvy. They're going to get beat by the Cowboys twice, probably split with the other teams in the division. The rest of it's sleepers. Who do you like in this division, in the conference, as far as sleepers go?
Wow. Well, I think maybe a little bit the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh,
I think that's going to be a bad division.
Yeah.
They were one of the best defenses in the league last year. They think that Alex Smith is ready to take the step. We don't know if he is or not, but if he is, I like Singletary.
Yeah,
I like the staff that he's put together. I think he's got some good people working under him there. And I think that's going to be a bad division, too. That's another thing. I think if we're talking about disappointing teams, there's some in that division, too. But 49ers for a dark horse.
Vernon Davis, I also like Patrick Willis on defense.
Good call.
It's a good call.
Very, very
good. You know, they got some good players. I hadn't thought about them. I was thinking Falcons as a sleeper. I always go to that NFC South. It seems like there always is a bad team because it's a bad division overall that emerges. You know, they're all sort of similar. Saints win the Super Bowl last year in that division. Falcons could bounce back. Overrated team. Who do you like as your overrated, too much hype?
Well, I think the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, I'm with you. Yeah. The Jets was our own in the AFC.
Vikings here. The team that I think is going to fall back is the Arizona Cardinals because they're just in a tough spot in a lot of ways. They've really had some deterioration. But the Vikings, I just think the Vikings. Brett Favre is 41 years old. How much? This goofiness, I think, has a wearing factor after a while. All the craziness that comes with Favre, I think it wears out. And I think maybe the Bears are going to be a little better. I think the Packers have a chance to be very, very good. So that division's going to be tougher. I think the Vikings take a step back.
Detroit's going to be a little bit better, too. Not great team, but a little bit better. I think as much as Favre, it's going to have to be now, he can't be as good as he was last year. That was outstanding. You lose Rice, the receiver, for at least 6 weeks.
That's right. I forgot to mention that stuff.
Percy Harvin with migraines.
All kind of problems.
Not really sure how he's going to be. Chester Taylor's not there as your other running back.
Yep.
There's other issues there as well. Super Bowl prediction. Who do you like?
Well, I'm going to go with. I really think that the Packers are going to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to. I'll say the Packers and the San Diego Chargers.
I'm similar. I think the San Diego Chargers are in a weak division. If they can keep things together, if they ever get Vincent Jackson or whatever they do at that spot, I think the Chargers are going to be really good. It's a weaker division. I like them coming out of it, and I don't like the Dallas Cowboys, but I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to wind up in the Super Bowl. They've got a lot of things going for them, and I think it's going to be Cowboys-Chargers. And I'll take the Chargers. I'm never going to root for the Cowboys.
And I'll take the Packers.
All right, go Pack.